Alright legends, this is a video series where Success CX is going to come to you with the absolute gold that we've learned from our years in customer experience. Today's video is going to be about macros, and I want to start off by telling you what it is and what it isn't. Firstly, what it isn't. It isn't a guide on how to create macros, how to use macros. It's not going to be teaching you about nesting, which is important, but there are plenty of places you can learn this. Now, what will this video be about? It will be about the fundamental considerations about how to make the most out of your macros, how to get these macros to contribute to giving your customers an excellent experience, and how to make them impactful in your business. So let's get straight into it. Why should you care about this? Now, obviously time is money, and being more efficient is a key consideration. Pretty much every tool within Zendesk has this. There's a reason that's been created, and you want to use it to the best of your ability. This is also going to give your agents a better experience on the platform and help you retain those agents. We all know what it's like to have to look for new CX agents, and whatever we can do to avoid that, we need to. This is also going to give you a consistent brand voice. You can build your brand voice into the macros, and that's also going to inform your agents when they're using them, how they should be speaking to customers outside of macros as well. Lastly, it's going to give you the ability to reduce your keying errors, and we'll touch more on this when we talk about workflows. But before you even build a macro, there's some things you need to consider. Now, the first and most important thing I want to get across in this video is governance. Governance is having a structure in place that allows you to control the content that is in your platform. Having a governance officer is a critical step here. Having them be accountable for producing new macros, ensuring that the macros that you do have are not repeated, making sure that the macros are available only to the agents that need them, and being able to review them to apply the appropriate fields, subjects, descriptions, tags, everything that goes into a macro. You want one person to be monitoring this and having a consistent approach to building them. You also want to review your macros regularly. Lastly, you want your help center and your macros to work in a symbiotic relationship. What does that mean? If you've got a help center article on return policies, maybe you also need a macro for returns policies, and then you embed the link for that help center article into your macro. Now, what are some common uses for macros? So obviously we all know about public replies. That's the main thing. They're often called canned responses because that's what they are. And a common objection we get with macros is that you want to be personal. You want to be able to have a bespoke answer to your customers, and that's fine. But being able to build out the framework around that answer and then editing it, that is a much faster, more efficient way for your agents to work. Another way that you can use them is for internal notes. Say you have a customer asking for a return, and you need to convey a certain set of information through to your returns team. Having an internal note that changes the assignee, sets up the description with the key information that needs to be captured, changes the status, that's going to make sure that your agents have fewer clicks before they can get this ticket migrated over to your returns team. Lastly, let's talk about workflows. Now, there are a couple things that you can do with macros to create good workflows. The first and foremost is you can run any triggers and automations in the back end of your system off of the fields or tags that you put onto a ticket. But tags can be really finicky. If you misspell something in a tag, it's going to create a new tag, and that is not going to trigger the automation or trigger. You also can create a side conversation or an email with all of the email addresses pre-filled using a macro. This is going to save countless time for your team if they have to send these types of emails regularly. Okay, that's it for today. That was a really quick, sharp introduction to macros. Obviously, if there's anything you want to discuss with regards to macros, you can reach out at any point and we'd be happy to help. All right, cheers.